Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Benin and I'm an English teacher from the UK. Today I would like to share with you one of my favourite tips ever for improving pronunciation and also listening skills in English. This tip is to de-stress function words. If this sounds totally alien to you, please don't worry, I will explain what I mean by this when we go. So, in my last video, we looked at the fact that English is a very musical language in which some words are said very strongly and others seem to disappear. In the last video, we focused on stressing content words, and today we're going to focus on the other side of the story, which is de-stressing other types of words. So last time we looked at the example, do you want a cup of tea? To look at the fact that want, cup, and tea are said louder at a higher pitch and a bit longer than the other words. But can you notice that other words are said much more weakly? So for example, do, of are said super weakly. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea? So do sounds like d, a sounds like and of sounds like of. This is our first example of how some words, function words, are de-stressed in English. So what are function words? Let me tell you. If content words give us the main idea, the main image in our mind of the idea behind the sentence, function words are the small grammatical words that make the sentence correct. So in our example, want cup tea, this is the core idea, right? And we add do, of to make it really grammatically correct. So function words tend to be things like articles, for example, a or the, determiners, so things like some, prepositions, so things like to, for, from, pronouns, so things like he, she, his, hers, conjunctions, things like and, because, and importantly, auxiliary verbs, so to be, to do, to have, can, could, should, would, will, all of this kind of thing. And how do we de-stress these words? Well, we say them much softer, much quicker than other words. So if we go back to our example, do you want a cup of tea? We can hear d, of, super quick, super soft. Okay? And another key point here to emphasize is that lots of function words have what we call a weak form and a strong form. So do, if we pronounce it on its own, has this strong form, do, but in the weak form it becomes d. Okay? The same with a. If we say it on its own, it's the strong form, but if it's in a sentence, it's the weak form, The same with of. If I say it on its own, it's very strong, but in a sentence it becomes of. And weak forms often share a key vowel sound, a very weak vowel sound that is the most common vowel sound in English. We call this the schwa sound. The schwa sound is, as I say, is a very weak vowel sound in which our mouth is relaxed, our tongue is center, and we just let our mouth fall open. So, Okay, so it's not big like it's not rounded like or ooh, or something like this. It's just very relaxed. Have a try with me. And as I say, most weak forms of function words have this schwa in them. So let's look at how function words are really pronounced in sentences with this schwa sound. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the strong form and the weak form of a function word and then read a sentence for you to listen and repeat to practice that weak form. Let's dive in. So first of all, let's look at articles. The first article we've got is a as the strong form, which sounds like just schwa sound in a sentence. So for example, it was a good day. Have a try. It was a good day. A good day. Okay, same happens with an, which is very big when we say it on its own, but it's very relaxed in a sentence. Un. For example, It was an awful event. It was an awful event. The same with the, which becomes the in a weak form. For example, what are you doing at the weekend? The weekend. Let's have a look at some prepositions. So to is the strong form, t is the weak form in a sentence. Let's go to Portugal. Let's go to Portugal. T. From is a strong form. From with the schwa is a weak form. I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK. And for is the strong form. F is the weak form. It's for you. It's for you. Let's have a look with some conjunctions. And is the strong form. Und is the weak form, or just un. So we get sentences like fish and chips, rock and roll, hot and cold, this kind of thing. And often we just write this with the N, right? Because that's what it sounds like. Another one is because. So we can hear the schwa in because. This one doesn't really have strong and weak forms. It tends to be always the same. But note that it's not because, or there's nothing strong about this. Because. I'm doing it because I care about you. I'm doing it because I care about you. And as is the strong form, us is the weak form. It's as good as you. It's as good as you. Let's have a look now at some auxiliary verbs. Can is the strong form. Kun is the weak form in a sentence. Can I help you? Can I help you? Or will is the strong form. Wool. With schwa is the weak form. I will tell you. I will tell you. Shall is the strong form. Shall with schwa is the weak form. Shall we go? Shall we go? Have is the strong form. Of is the weak form. I should have told you. I should have told you. And finally, let's look a little bit at the verb to be, because we use this so often and because the pronunciation is so different between the weak form and the strong form. I'm just going to pick out two conjugations of the verb to be that people find most difficult here. Are is the strong form. Just schwa, nothing else. Is the weak form. We are happy. We are happy. Right? Not we are happy. We are happy. Again, one that people find challenging. Were is the strong form. Were is the weak form. They were ill. They were ill. So that was our practice for today. If we want to sound a little bit more natural in our pronunciation and also improve our listening skills, we can remember that we de-stress function words, these little grammatical words like articles, prepositions, auxiliary verbs, etc. And that to de-stress them, we often use weak forms, which tend to include the schwa sound, this very weak vowel sound. If you can work on identifying these weak forms in your listening and trying to use them in your speaking, it will go a long way to helping you with your English. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, as usual, if you have any questions, please let me know. And good luck using these weak forms. See you soon.